Roll call, please.
Councilman Boyer,
Here.
Councilman Collier,
Here.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Here.
Councilman Boyer. I'm sorry, Councilman Weiner,
Here.
Councilman Dennis,
Here.
Councilman Benz,
Here.
Councilman Cook,
Here.
Councilman Tennant.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda tonight. Tonight's bills add up to $265,870.91.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Cook,
Yep.
Councilman Boyer.
Yep.
Councilman Tennant,
Yes.
Councilman Benz,
Yes.
Councilman Dennis,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
Motion has passed. Remarks of visitors.
I have none.
Bids, fire department for radio pagers. Staff report, please.
Thank you all. I come before you today to ask for approval for 10 radio pagers for the fire department. It's a necessary piece of equipment that we need. We're currently using broken ones to make the as many keep working as possible. So we would like to try these new G5 pagers. Not only will they work, but two is with our current pagers. I don't know if you're aware, but 911, when they dispatch a call, they have to simulcast on VHF and 800 megahertz. So the VHF is what sets our pager off. Once they dispatch the call on the VHF, all the radio traffic goes to the 800 megahertz. So our off-duty firefighters, our volunteers in that, if they're not carrying a walkie with them, they don't hear the updates. They only hear the initial dispatch. So hopefully it will increase our response times and, they can respond accordingly with the extra information that they get from the dispatch. It was budgeted, or the fire department budgeted $10,000 for pagers. Tonight, I'm asking for 10 pagers, 10 chargers, and then 5 cases, because the pagers that will be in the engine house don't need cases. They'll send in chargers in there. In a total of $7,940 for the pagers that use. If by the time we approve this and I get it put in, if the whatever they had a thing, you buy 10, you get one free. So we may have 11 pagers. So go ahead, ask your approval to proceed.
Any discussion?
So Chief, in layman's terms, this will allow our firefighters to actually carry one device and be able to hear a call escalating, and we can get more manpower to a scene.
Correct.
Hey, college paid off.
Does this replace all the obsolete or the pieces and parts?
Probably not. If you read in the thing, I was going to distribute them with a couple in the firehouse, and then Chief Boyer and myself, and then our most active volunteers. And hopefully it's an incentive for the others to get active, and then we can buy some more. So we will have some of the old ones still around that are working, but they're slowly dwindling away. I think they're 2005, and they're not lasting. I mean, you're giving them to firefighters, they're not lasting long.
Right. Hey, Jeff, Mr. Mayor, what's a realistic number that you really need on these? 15, 20, something we can work on? Because to me, I think it's time. I know how these equipment works. Once they're done, they're done. So what's a realistic number, you think?
I mean, we would cover the most active, but if you're trying to cover everybody, we would probably use up the whole $10,000. I'm not even sure if we replaced everybody that works for us or volunteers with us, that the 10,000 is enough. We were just trying to cover the most active right now. And then we could always come back and ask for the council, but we could easily spend the $10,000 on the rest of the pagers and they would go to people. It's just how active they are.
Something you said, if you buy 10, you get one free. If you bought 20, do you get two free?
I don't believe it read that way.
You got to throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. That's how you do it nowadays. So I'm certainly not trying to buck the budget, but I mean, this isn't kind of a want. This is kind of a need.
I agree
So
with that.
we go ahead and approve this tonight. Would that hold you up on an order if we could look for the money?
Well, I mean, we're only spending $7,900, so we can still get a few more. Because in the budget for this year, we budgeted up to $10,000 strictly for pagers, it was strictly for that item, so. And I can't do quick math, but we could get a few more up to 10,000.
Well, that blonde-headed lady there, Ken, I'd like to see us get 15, and I'm not trying to hold up the process tonight, but this is one thing I understand. So
Well,
any suggestion?
I think for tonight, we'll work on these 10, and then in the near future, we'll take a look and see what we can get
Allocation.
and reallocate some funds or something and see if we can't get more. But for right now, we're talking about 10 pages for $7,940. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Well-
Wait a minute.
Don't matter.
Well, we do not doing 10, but he's doing 11 because hopefully the one's free. So be,
Not to exceed 10,000.
oh, well, yeah, he can, yeah, I'm fine with the 10,000.
I'll make the motion to go $10,000 for the pagers.
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah, up to 10,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded to max out the $10,000 for pagers. So Chief, you can get a few more. Although, roll call, please.
Councilman Tennant,
I'll make it.
Councilman Cook.
Yep.
Councilman Benz,
Yes.
Councilman Dennis,
Absolutely.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Collier.
Yes. Motion passes. Chief, spend the $10,000.
I think, and I'll give you all an update how many we.
Ordinances and resolutions. Tonight, we have bill number 4715 on the agenda. Would the clerk please read the bill for the first time?
Okay, here we go. Bill number 4715, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, amending Title II, Public Health, Safety and Welfare, Chapter 210, Offenses, Sections 210.1810, 210.1820, 210.1840, and 210.1880, and enacting new code sections 210.1910 and 210.1920, and amending Title III, Traffic Code, Chapter 342, Alcohol-related traffic offenses, Sections 342.010 and 342.050, to address changes to the Missouri Constitution concerning possession of recreational marijuana and restricting public smoking and consumption of marijuana, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and establishing an effective date.
Bill 4715 is now open for discussion. Can I have a staff report, please?
I'm going to defer to Mr. Malone, who this is one of his favorite topics to discuss.
That's right. Thank you, Greg, Mayor. So this is another piece of legislation to address the recent constitutional amendment legalizing recreational marijuana. This establishes a it amends our ordinance that prohibited the possession of marijuana to permit possession by persons age 21 and over and qualifying patients to authorize possession of medical marijuana. It sets forth penalties for possession by persons under 21 and for possession in an amount above what's allowed by the constitutional amendment and in public places. Those penalties are all set by the new constitutional amendment. But to enforce those, we need to have ordinances that correspond with the constitutional penalties. In most cases, it's just a small fine that they refer to in the Constitution as a civil penalty. So that's how they're referred to herein. We've also enacted, as the constitutional amendment permits, we've proposed prohibiting possession of marijuana and consumption of marijuana in public places, which includes both city-owned property, city-owned buildings, and city streets, sidewalks, parks, any lots owned or leased by the city, the county, or the state. It also prohibits possession or consumption in places open to the general public, unless that place has been designated by the owner of the establishment as permissible for persons to smoke, consume, or possess marijuana, and smoking or consumption would otherwise be lawful there. One of the things the constitutional amendment provides is that anywhere that smoking tobacco is prohibited, smoking marijuana is also prohibited. This ordinance will also prohibit possession, consumption on the grounds of a public or private school, at a correctional facility, and it also prohibits consumption while in a moving vehicle, and operating a motor vehicle while you're under the influence of marijuana. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
So a question, I don't know, Chief, how do we weigh this stuff? Do we have a scale? Because it's all based on the number of ounces. Doug?
That's where we'll really have to kind of look into it a little bit more. We do have certified scales in the department if it comes down to that. As far as the realistic part of enforcing it, they're going to have quite a bit on them before we even take any type of an enforcement action. The thing with this is it really kind of makes it illegal to possess it in a car if it's not in its original packaging. So that kind of gives us a little bit of leeway. But as far as the quantities of the total amount, that's something we're going to have to get a little bit more in depth with Brian later on.
Right. So if it's going to take a lot to pique your interest for it to be a police matter is kind of what I'm understanding.
Correct.
So, thank you, sir.
Is there any other discussion? If not, do I have a motion to suspend the rules and read Bill 4715 for the second time in title only?
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you please read Bill 4715 for the second time in title only?
Bill number, no, thank you, Greg. Bill number 4715, an ordinance of the city of Festus, Missouri, amending Title II, Public Health, Safety and Welfare, Chapter 210, Offenses, Sections 210.1810, 210.1820, 210.1840, and 210.1880, and enacting new code sections 210.1910 and 210.1920, and amending Title III, Traffic Code, Chapter 342, Alcohol-related traffic offenses, Sections 342.010 and 342.050, to address changes to the Missouri Constitution concerning possession of recreational marijuana and restricting public smoking and consumption of marijuana, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and establishing an effective date. Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Councilman Dennis.
Yes.
Councilman Venz.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Tenon.
Yes.
Bill 4715 has passed. Thank you. New business.
In your package, you received the schedule for the 2023 annual roadblocks. They're the same as they were last year. The agencies have put in their application and the list just needs to be approved by city council.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, sir. Just briefly, when you see people down there all the time and it's kind of a busy intersection where they are down there. So if we don't mandate whatever, like bright vest for them to wear, like a fluorescent vest, yellow, for instance. I think that's something that we need to.
We do give them a set of rules.
Perfect.
When they get their application that I send out,
Okay,
the city code with the rules and regulations on there, age, things like that, safety requirements. We do send them those requirements.
okay. Thank you, Carrie.
Carrie, don't they also have to have like a insurance bond or something? Little like a,
Yes, they have to
or
be,
is that,
they have to be a 501(c) licensed by the state also.
and you get all that before they actually go in the corner, right?
Yes.
Good, good.
Is there any other discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the 2023 roadblock schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right,
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Old business.
We have none, sir.
Moving right along, Councilman Boyer.
Just wanted to say, last week I did the CPR training up at JPAD. And I've had training before, but it has changed over the years. And recommend it strongly for anybody. Ken is a very good instructor up there. Fantastic. He keeps it entertaining as well as a learning experience. I think we had 16 in our class and that was done. Had another room full coming in. So I recommend it strongly. Did a ride along Friday night and some of the new equipment that we voted on the police to have on their cars, the flock cameras up on top are amazing. I've rode with them before, but now we got this new technology.
That technology isn't actually flock, but it
Yeah,
is similar.
similar
flock
to it.
cameras, yeah.
I know you can drive through a parking lot where there's multitude of cars and it's just checking each one of them off and let you know if anything's been stolen or whatever on the tags and such. And it's really amazing. So, and I like the way the police back each other up on a call. We made several stops. And if the other police don't have anything immediately going on, they're backing you up. And I think that's a real good thing to watch all that in action. Most of them encourage us to come out and ride along. Even the mayor, they said there's an open seat for him too, but you can basically pick out a time anytime it's convenient. I rode from like 6 to like 10 in the evening and on Friday night, but it's something I would recommend for any of the council because I think it's really interesting. You learn a lot. And that's all I had, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, sir. Councilman Weiner.
So last time we were here, the mayor volunteered me to be a volunteer person. So I used Chat GPT, put some stuff in. I contacted Ozark Food Pantry over here after Carmelita had come in, put all the data in there, took some pictures and stuff, came up with a really cool flyer for it. It looked really professional. I mean, it's like, it fooled me how well it looked. Gave it to Greg. It was put on our social media site. In a couple days, we had like 3,000 hits on it, 2,400 hits. This was before Saturday, but we had like 2,400 hits on Facebook, 150 hits on Twitter, and I think 350 approximately on
Instagram.
on Instagram, right? So I mean, I have almost 3,000 hits on this thing. So that got me going. I'm like, this is pretty cool. So I asked if we had any results, if Ozark Food Pantry had any results. And this is the letter that I received, which is brief. So far, we had 6 students from the Instagram post, and we're starting to fill up for next week. So this was before, this was like a couple days ago. They really helped us yesterday. So Sunday they did that, it's just yesterday. Now I have a coach from Festus High that wants to send me 13 girls, but I'll need to get with Carmelita on that one. Thank you so much. You really drew some positive attention on this project. So, I mean, I think we've really got like an asset here that's untapped, that is prime for distribution, for usage. You know, Barb, I mean, I think it was really exciting to see that. So if I asked Greg about how can anyone, in this case, I ask other council people to be able to give me input on this. So I can like email everyone here, but I can't ask for like decisions to be made or anything like that. But I can certainly ask everyone if you have any recommendations. You know, Stacy, if you know someone with, I mean, there's so many people here of diverse backgrounds that, you know, so I'm going to send out an email. And if you have ideas, we can certainly incorporate it. Mike works with Operation Clean Stream, so we're going to get together and do something with to make a flyer up for that. Perhaps in the future, maybe on the city's webpage, on the landing page, we can have like a volunteer button. They click it and they can see a list of all different types of community volunteer organizations that are available to volunteer for. So I'm really pretty excited about it. I think it's pretty cool. I think the city can do a lot of good here, promote a lot of goodwill, help a lot of people. And yeah, so I'll be sending that out to everybody. If you keep an eye on your mailbox, I'll do that. Yeah, thank you for the update on the CPR, Dave, because I do want to take that also. And really, that's about it. Just really excited about the volunteer, though. That's all I have, Mayor.
Good, you're doing a good job, Brian. Councilman Dennis.
I just want to thank Brian for his efforts. He's really making a difference there. And I think you picked the right man for the job. And it's exciting to see all the updates, warm weather's coming. So I enjoy looking at those. But other than that, I don't have anything else, sir.
All right, thank you, Councilman Cook.
Yes, sir. Just a couple quick things. Hey, Greg, I had a couple of residents reach out. Somehow, I guess we talked at one time about a dog park. Could I get a brief update and maybe they're watching so they can listen to the update?
Absolutely. Really, what happened, the dog park is something that we've still talked about, considered. It would be something that would work in some of the flood buyout area there on the South Third area, especially. I think that was one place we looked. We had some priorities step up ahead of that. I think mainly combined between the work that Josh has had to do, the PD has had to do on the South Fourth Park, concerns there with the pavilion. So some funding needed to go towards one, getting that demoed and replaced. And the dog park kind of took a back burner to that. We fully intend to try to get something like that going. I think there's certainly enough enthusiasm, whether we do it, you know, downtown or in the other park areas that we have around town. I think that there's certainly enough interested parties that if we have the funding available, that it would be something that we would certainly look at putting on the budget schedule again.
Thank you. And then Charlotte Pippin reached out to me, and she's a very enthusiastic young girl. She has indicated to me that her and her friends were talking in school, and they would love to see more activities for kids to be able to do in Festus, including the famous water park. So I'm going to invite Charlotte to speak to you. I think she has an interest in speaking to the council. So I'm going to mention that to Mr. Pippin and let him know his daughter can reach out to you. And then last but not least, hey, Matt, can you get with the library director on the metal shelves down there?
Yes, sir.
I think I dropped the ball
In
in
the
that a
basement.
little bit. Yeah, I did. So I know they're working over there and whether they're
Yep.
there, if we get a rain day, if they can get them shelves out of there for.
I think it's supposed to rain on
library.
Thursday. So
There we go.
absolutely. Yes,
You
sir.
can take care of that. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Councilman Collier.
Yeah, a few things. First, I'd like to thank Stephanie for the updates on the budget. That's really good. And I'm happy to see that we're starting off the year on a good foot. I still am getting some phone calls for some of the bus drivers from Festus. And one problem area is at Brothers and Mueller. She says there's times where she's coming out of Brothers to go up Mueller, and there's cars on both sides of the street, and she can't even get the bus through. And there's times where she says she's had to drop the kids off away from their homes, and she don't like that. So we need to see if we can come up with something, some kind of a solution, whether it be no parking certain times of the day while the buses are running. But even at that, if we have an emergency to where an ambulance or a fire truck would have to go there, they wouldn't be able to get by because that road's not that wide to begin with. So we're going to have to see if we can come up with some kind of solution for that. And also, I guess this would be for Mark. It was brought to my attention, there's a lot of trash behind the Enterprise Leasing on that hillside, and supposedly that could be a homeless camp or whatever. Is there any way we can look into seeing about getting that cleaned up?
It's already started.
It's already started. Thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, sir. Councilwoman Templeton.
Thanks to Stephanie for getting that report out, and thanks to Barb. I presume this is you, but our online presence is just phenomenal compared to where it was several years ago. It's nice, just to kind of the interactive piece that's out there is important. And I think kind of the thing of having something for the kids to do in that, it's just a great place to get that information out there that there is stuff going on. So great job. I know it takes a lot of time to keep that current and keep it creative. So thank you very much for taking care of that. And that's all.
All righty, thank you. Councilman Vans.
Yeah, good job too, Stephanie. I like that report. Thanks. And on the railroad crossing or the bridge, you said they're gonna put signs on the bridge itself, or just, I seen the one sign on the hill, but.
Yeah, so in fact, Dave asked me about this last week too. So we've reached out to, well, first street department went down to measure the clearance to get an official minimum clearance, which is 11'4". And then we relayed that information. Kenji Webb, who's the project manager on the trestle replacement. They do have to order the signs from Omaha, but they will be back and they will install them on the trestle.
Okay, cause I saw the one coming down the hill. I don't know if that's an old sign, 11'6".
Probably, yeah, that would be an old sign if we still have one out there, or they still have one out there.
Yeah, as you're coming down Cromwell, it says 11'6" at the trestle.
Okay.
So that's what I thought it was an old one, but that's like, well, maybe that's same height or something, but I just.
There's more clearance in the middle, but obviously we want to make sure we post an absolute minimum clearance.
Exactly.
So if there's a sign on Cromwell, we certainly want to make sure we address that.
I can't remember if it was right before the stop sign or right after the stop sign, but I thought I saw but like I said, I couldn't remember when I went by there if it was before or afterwards. Corrected. And thanks for the central getting that fixed where that water problem is there on the front of the church. Well, appreciate that. And I see our tractor's not going to be here for another couple of months.
I know.
Yeah. Well, luckily, it'll be right about the prime time of the spring brush season. So.
Yeah, you won't get any opportunity to go slow in training. He's going to have to train up. And
It'll be rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
But that it still is going to be nice for the future. That's the thing. So, but other than that, that's it, sir.
All right, thank you. Councilman Tenen. I have nothing tonight, sir. All righty, sir. Well, I don't have anything. Things are going well. I've said this before. You guys are getting ready. I'm quite proud of our workforce. I'm quite proud of our workforce all the way around in each department. They're doing a great job. And we just keep going. Nobody has anything else? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.